Imagine a king who stood undefeated, bending entire civilizations to his will, a name that inspired both fear and admiration throughout the ancient world. That was Alexander the Great, the man who forged one of the most legendary empires in history. Yet, at the height of his power, he vanished. Not in battle, nor betrayed by a sword. His death remains shrouded in mystery, puzzling historians for over 2,000 years. It was 323 BC, when Alexander returned to Babylon after years of relentless conquest. His empire stretched from Persia to Egypt and India, but even that wasn't enough. He had grand plans to invade Arabia and expand even further. So, in a magnificent palace once owned by King Nebuchadnezzar, he celebrated his next campaign with a lavish feast. Wine flowed freely, laughter filled the air, and there stood Alexander, the young king, as invincible as ever. Then, without warning, everything changed. A sudden fever struck him. At first, it seemed trivial. After all, a warrior like Alexander had faced unimaginable hardships. But this was different. Day by day, his health declined. His body weakened, and he could no longer move. His once powerful voice turned to mere whispers. The indomitable presence that had led armies across continents was fading. His closest generals stood by, helpless, watching their king, the man they had followed through countless battles, deteriorate right before their eyes. Whispers of rumors began to circulate through the palace halls. Was it a disease? Had the gods turned against him for his ambition? Or was it something far more sinister? Poison. Just hearing that word sent shivers of paranoia through his court. Alexander had always had enemies, rival generals, betrayed allies, foreign spies. Had one of them finally seized the chance to bring him down? Historians have been locked in a never-ending debate over this theory. If poison was indeed the culprit, it must have been a slow-acting one, something that unfolded over several days, mimicking an illness before ultimately taking his life. Some suggest there were political motives at play. After all, Alexander had dismissed his most trusted physician. Could one of his remaining doctors have played a role in his downfall? Others speculate that members of his inner circle had their own reasons for wanting him dead. His empire, while vast, was incredibly fragile. The moment Alexander was gone, chaos erupted among his former allies. Did someone orchestrate this turmoil to follow his death? Then there's the eeriest detail. His body supposedly didn't decay for days after he passed. His followers interpreted this as a sign that Alexander was not just human, but divine. Yet science offers a different perspective. Certain medical conditions, including some types of paralysis, could have made his body appear lifelike even after death. Could this imply that Alexander wasn't truly dead when he was entombed, that he endured in silence, unable to move or speak, buried alive? Another theory points to Guillain-Barré syndrome, a rare neurological disorder that might explain his paralysis. If this is accurate, it would mean he didn't die from poison or disease, but rather from the inability to breathe as his body gradually shut down. What adds to this mystery is Alexander's final words. When asked who should succeed him, he reportedly whispered, "To the strongest." No name, no clear heir, just a challenge that plunged his empire into bloody conflict. His greatest generals turned against one another, tearing apart his legacy and dividing the world he fought so hard to unite. Alexander the Great, the man who towered over kings, the warrior who conquered empires, left behind more than just territory and glory. He left behind questions that still linger today. Was his death a matter of fate, a tragic illness, or perhaps the greatest act of betrayal in ancient history? No one truly knows, and maybe no one ever will.